All right, guys, there's an issue that I want to talk about today that you might not think of as a huge issue, but it sort of depends on who you are. This is the pronunciation of the teams and of the players in your save. Now, a lot of people on my videos have commented and said, oh, your pronunciation is so good, or you're so good at finding out exactly how people say the names of the players and the teams and all this stuff. I'm going to admit something to you. I'm actually not quite as good at this as I should be, and I'm not as good at this as you think that I am. I really mean that, and the reason why I'm not so good at this is because I don't speak every single language in the world. So I come into this save with an advantage. I already speak Chinese. I've spent, what year is it, 2023? So I have spent about 20 years of my life now learning the Chinese language. I speak Korean. I've spent over 10 years learning Korean. I also speak some German, French, some Swedish, and some Japanese, and a whole host of other languages to a certain extent. Now, to play Football Manager, I don't expect you as a player or as a potential content creator to also speak these languages like at this super great level or at an almost native level or really at any level. Then the question comes along, which is, well, what do we do if we don't know how to say the name of the player? Now, I could look at you and say, well, get good, man. Go learn the language. What's wrong with you? But, I mean, come on. You're not going to do that, right? I mean, it takes a long time to learn a language, to learn it the right way. It takes a long time to get the pronunciation down straight. And, like, on my team, I'm thinking, okay, we got guys from Thailand. We got a guy from Iran. We got guys from, like, Chile. We got guys from, like, all over the place, right? I mean, it's going to be really, really hard for me to make sure that I have the pronunciation on right. Not to mention the fact that, at least on my screen, sometimes the name's a little bit small and I'm having a hard time seeing. Maybe I need to get my eyes checked as well. I don't know. I'm getting a little bit older. I mean, come on. It's not realistic. It's not realistic to be like, you're going to get this perfectly every time. So there are some options that we have to try to improve our ability to do this. So the first option that automatically comes to mind is, oh, well, I could just use Google Translate. But when you're dealing with a name that is not written originally in Latin characters, you probably need to find out how it was originally written. So what we're going to focus on is on this guy, whose name I've been saying wrong, Sufanat Muenta, who is a Thai professional striker who is so well known that he has his own Wikipedia page, and who's also playing for Yenbian FC. They won't tell you that here on Wikipedia because they're paying attention to the wrong reality. We all know where real life really is. So this is the way that you write his name in Thai. I do not speak Thai at all. I have friends who do. I do not. I know nothing about the Thai language. The first thing that we can do and that people will tell you to do is, oh, hey, go over to Google Translate. Here we are on Google Translate, and I go dump this thing in, and it will tell me the English translation of that name. And then you can listen here, and hopefully this will work. Let's see.
Suphanat Muenta.
Yeah, so Suphanat Muenta. I mean, that's all right, but again,
Suphanat Muenta.
I mean, the quality of this voice is kind of there, but it's also kind of not, right? You could use this. You could just use Google Translate and be good with it. But, I mean, I will tell you that a native speaker probably will listen to that and be like, yeah, this sounds like a computer voice, right? Maybe you don't want to sound like a computer voice. Maybe you want something nicer. Well, there is another way. There are better text-to-speech services. So I use something that is called Awesome TTS, and this comes as part of a program I use called Anki. Many of you probably know about Anki. You can look at this. Oh, look, I have all these languages I'm learning and other stuff that I need to get set up, right? Here, come take a look at all of the work that I haven't done because I've been playing this Football Manager game instead. So with Anki and with this service, which costs, as you can see here, $5 a month at languagetools.anki.study, which I highly recommend. I've been subscribing to this now for well over a year, and this is worth it. This is worth it, guys, and you're going to see why. With this setup with Anki, I can take sentences, words, phrases, and so on from any language, and I can turn that into sound files from my computer with very high-quality audio. And I can also look up things on the fly. You can see that I don't have Thai anywhere here. I do have Vietnamese listed, but not Thai. I click over here on Add, and I say, well, the way that I have this set up with the so-called Hyper TTS program, I have a whole bunch of presets, but Thai is not on there, of course, because I'm not learning Thai. There is another way, though, and this comes through the so-called Awesome TTS, the older service. I go click on Awesome TTS here as part of my program. I'll make this a little bit bigger here for you. You can see I've already copied it in there. We want to pass it through the correct Microsoft Azure voice. Now, I'm not going to have them have a good old Xiaoyo speak in Chinese because that would be kind of strange for a Thai name. Instead, we're going to scroll down here to Thai. We have choices between female and male voices. And look, we have a number of neural voices. So we can listen to these and figure out how to say this difficult name. Let's try the first one.
สุพนัทเหมือนตา
Supanat Munta. That sounds a lot more natural to me, even though I don't speak Thai. Let's try the second.
สุพนัทเหมือนตา
Supanat Munta. This is probably the best voice out of the three. And then the male voices tend to not be quite as good. Let's see what this is
สุ
like.
พนัทเหมือนตา
Supanat Munta. I like this second one here. In fact, if I were making cards for studying Thai, this is the method I would use. I would use this voice. That's what I would do.
สุพนัทเหมือนตา
Supanat Munta. There you go. Now you know how to say his name. It's Supanat Munta. It's not, Moyanta or whatever I was saying. It's Munta. And so now we know. The more you know, right, the better off you are. There's another way that we can look this up too, though. Whoops. And let's not go over there. Let's go to actual YouTube. As you can see, I don't always use YouTube. I actually use other YouTube clones from time to time, but we won't go into that too deeply. You can search, though, for Supanat Munta's name here on YouTube, and you can find some information out about him, and you can find out where he is. And let's see if I can find that video that I saw earlier. Maybe I'll be able to find it, maybe I won't. You can find videos here in the Thai language that might give you an insight into it or might not. And I think that, yes, this is the one that I was looking at earlier. So we'll take a quick little look at this. We have video and all sorts of voices and stuff.
บ้านสุพนัทเหมือนตานะคะ
There you go. She just said it.
บ้านสุพนัทเหมือนตานะคะ
Yeah. There you go. Supanat Munta. And they're going to go wake him up here. This will be fun. So let's see what happens.
โอ้สมบัติเยอะมาก
A lot of shoes.
Bạn 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 โอ้ใส่แว่นไม่รู้จักพอถอดแว่นแล้วโอ้เลยเหรอโอ้โหมาแล้วแฟนบอกให้มาสืบแฟนๆคะดูนะคะนอนไม่ใส่เสื้อค่ะนอนไม่ใส่เสื้อค่ะใส่กางเกงในไหมเนี่ยใส่กางเกงในไหมเนี่ยฮะอ๋อใส่กางเกงในอยู่โอเคใช้ได้ง่วงนอน
There you have it. We'll stop that there. There you go. You can find all sorts of crazy stuff there online if you just take a little bit of time out and look for it. I will say, though, that above all, especially if you're dealing with somebody, like I said, who is a player who is from a country in which the Latin alphabet is not the default alphabet, you want to find out what the spelling is in the alphabet as much as you can. Now, you're going to run into players who are new gens on Football Manager where you just can't do this. There are not too many choices that you have, but you can kind of get close. You can kind of guess. You can kind of maybe finagle something here or there to get as close to the pronunciation as you can. I'd recommend doing it, though, and just like I showed you, I'd also recommend, hey, go take a look on YouTube, see if you can find out more about the player, because you can find some really weird stuff out, and you can watch some videos that are somewhat bizarre, and that will make your day a little bit better. Anyway, I hope that helps. Spend some time doing this. Like I said, don't freak out about it too much. Don't worry too much about Get Good or people who tell you that your pronunciation is wrong in some random language that you don't speak anyway. But at the same time, have some fun with it. And as I always say, get to know your save better and get to know your players better. You will be happy that you did so because it will mean more to you in the end if you get to know the players, and you'll have a much better Football Manager experience this way. I'll talk to you later. Take care.